Ancient-sounding music begins and then fades into the background. Picture this. About 20 years before the legendary Theseus would stride into Athens on the sun-drenched hill of Delphi, a king kneels in prayer. Theseus, Aegos, the king of Athens, his face a mask of regal solitude, yet haunted by an emptiness that echoes through the hallowed halls of Apollo's temple. He has only one desperate plea, a whisper that carries the weight of a nation. Great Apollo, he prays, grant me a son to succeed me. Only a legitimate heir can prevent my beloved Athens from fracturing into pieces. The air grows heavy with anticipation. Moments later, a priestess emerges from the shadows, her voice a hollow vessel for the oracle's divine words. Your destiny, O Aegeus, is intertwined with TROEZEN. Do not return directly to Athens. If you linger in TROEZEN, your wish will be granted. Aegeus steps out of the temple, his eyes scanning the heavens, wrestling with the cryptic message. TROEZEN, he murmurs to himself, I will follow the gods' will. But while the king seeks divine guidance, a darker ambition festers back in the royal palace of Athens. Pallas, Aegeus's younger brother, conspires with a courtier. I have sons, countless sons, Pallas sees, his voice low and dangerous. If Athens needs a successor, shouldn't it be one of my blood? My brother is a fool. Chastened prophecies while his throne sits vulnerable. The courtier nods, but his reply is cautious. His Majesty Aegeus is still king. It is not my place to speak on matters of succession, but the shadow of ambition in Pallas's eyes has already been cast. Unaware of the plot, Aegeus arrives in the kingdom of TROEZEN and seeks out his old friend, King Pith. He wastes no time sharing his burden. Pithous, my friend, I am still without a son.
If I cannot secure the line of succession, Athens is doomed to civil war. Pithous listens, his gaze warm and understanding. After a thoughtful silence, he speaks.
I understand your fear, old friend. It is no accident the oracle led you here. The answer to your prayer lies with my daughter, Aethra. You must meet her. For the first time in a long time, a flicker of hope ignites in Aegeus's eyes. Your daughter, where is she now? She went for a walk outside the castle walls, Pithous replies. She will return soon. However, news travels fast. When word of Aegeus's arrival reaches Pallas back in Athens, he acts swiftly. A messenger is dispatched to TROEZEN, carrying a letter for King Pith. The message is a chilling ultimatum. Do not allow any woman of TROEZEN to meet with Aegeus. If you defy this warning, I will march my army on your kingdom and obliterate it. Pithous reads the letter, his face green. The weight of his own kingdom now rests on his shoulders. As a king, he cannot ignore such a direct. But as a friend, he cannot abandon Torn. He devises a plan. He orders his servants to arrange the meeting between Aegeus and Aethra, but it must be done with the utmost secrecy and care. And so, in a sun-dappled garden, just outside the castle, Aegeus and Aethra meet for the first time. They talk and walk, a natural connection blooming between them. From a distance, King Pithous watches, his heart a tangle of hope and fear.
Later that night, as fate would have it, Aegis finds himself at the door of Athras' chamber. But before their union can be sealed, a quiet knock interrupts the moment. It's one of Pythois' servants.
Your Majesty, the king requests your presence. Aegeus goes to his friend's chamber, where he finds Pythois looking tormented. If you and Ethra are to be together, Pythois asks, his voice strained, do you intend to take her to Athens as your queen? Of course,
Aegeus declares.
And if she bears me a son, he will be my heir. A wave of relief washes over Pythois, but it's short-lived. He pulls out the threatening letter from Pallas. As Aegeus reads the words, his face hardens into a mask of fury and despair. Pallas dares to threaten this. He lets out a deep, heavy sigh. If I take Aethra back to Athens now, it will mean civil war. My brother will tear the kingdom apart.
But I cannot betray the oracle's will. After a long, agonizing pause, Aegis's eyes filled with a steely resolve. Here is what we must do.
If Aethra gives birth to a son, he will be raised here, in TROEZEN, under your protection. When the time is right, he will come to me himself, Pythois. Nods understanding the sacrifice his friend is making. I understand, Aegeus. He will be safe here. Returning to Aethra's room, Aegeus explains the perilous situation. He holds her hands, his voice firm but gentle.
The oracle has promised that a son will be born from our union.
When he is grown, you must lead him to the great rock outside the castle, where we first met. Beneath that rock, I will leave my sword and my sandals. If he is strong enough to lift the rock and retrieve them, they will be the tokens that prove he is my son. With them, he will find his way to Athens. Aethra listens, her expression serious, her heart swelling with the gravity of their shared destiny. She nods. That night, their fates were quietly woven together. 16 years pass. Outside the castle of TROEZEN, a young man, strong and full of life, stands before a massive, moss-covered boulder. This is Theseus. His mother Aethra stands beside him. What is this, mother? He asks, brow furrowed in confusion. Aethra's voice is calm, yet filled with a power he has never heard before. Try to lift this rock, Theseus. The young man plants his feet, grips the stone, and pours all of his strength into the effort. His muscles strained, veins standing out on his arms. Slowly, miraculously, the giant rock begins to move. It groans, scraping against the earth, until finally he lifts it clear.
There, nestled in the hollow beneath, lies an ancient sword in a pair of worn leather sandals, gleaming softly in the daylight. Aethra's voice trembles with emotion.
Those are the tokens left by your father. He is the king of Athens, and he is waiting for you. Theseus looks from the sword to his mother, and in that moment, the boy vanishes. In his place stands a hero. His eyes burn with a new, unshakable purpose. Mother, he says, his voice low and steady, I'm going to Athens. I will find my father. I'll have a boat prepared at once. Aethra replies, her heart soaring with pride and fear. No,
Mother, Theseus declares, his gaze fixed on the horizon.
I will not go by sea. I will face whatever dangers lie on the path and overcome them. It is the only way. His journey, his legend, was about to begin. Thank you so much for joining me on this epic journey into Greek mythology. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you in the next video!